Welcome back to Life Unfiltered. Today's episode features Daphna Shalom. After 6 years of medical practice, board-certified physician's assistant, Daphna Shalom founded Beverlywood Med, alongside her mentor and current medical director, Dr. Ravinder Singh. Throughout her journey in medicine, Daphna found that few patients were receiving individualized care or treatment plans, but rather a standard of treatment where one size fits all. Her goal was to create a practice which focused on the individual as a whole, where no two people recommended the same treatment, a place for patients to have a personalized experience where they felt comfortable asking questions. Daphna began as an artist first, acrylics on canvas, having a keen eye for beauty and a deep understanding of precision and symmetry. And so Beverlywood Med was founded. To find out more about Daphna and her work, visit beverlywoodmed.com or on Instagram at beverlywoodmed. All the links are in the show notes. Today's episode is sponsored by Rescue Skin MD, the makers of my absolute favorite face and scar cream, the DNA Repair Complex. You guys know I live and die by that cream. They just launched their brand new body cream. I'm obsessed. I'm already wearing it. The Rescue MD Revitalizing Body Cream. It's got their exclusive ingredient, which I'm always talking about, Lapicol, which is amazing for skin under stress. Our skin is always under stress. Plus, skin-firming peptides that increase skin elasticity for visibly firmer, plumper skin. In addition, it also has protective antioxidants that preserve the skin barrier for optimal skin health and barrier-strengthening moisturizers that deeply hydrate and restore moisturization levels. Visit rescuemd.com to learn more and use my code LLG15, which you will need because these products, you're gonna want that discount. LLG15. Enjoy this episode. Welcome in, Daphna. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thanks for having me.
I was thinking all week about how I really wanted to introduce you, and here's what I want to tell the people about you. I'm somebody who's heavily into aesthetics and always have been, and I find that so fascinating. I'm also somebody—
Well, you were a rep. Sorry, I totally interrupted you.
No,
you were like an aesthetics rep, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in the beauty
so
space. I'm passionate about it, but I'm also really, really passionate about healthcare in general, how getting the treatment that we need, and being an advocate for yourself, but also the way the medical system's set up. And I find, and I'm just not blowing smoke up your ass, but I really find what you've done with Beverlywood Med and what you do, even forget before your business even, is you have struck a balance of helping women feel and stay beautiful, but you also really care about health. That is very rare to have both. So that's why I really wanted you on, instead of just having just a beauty expert. So welcome in. That's Daphna, everyone.
Thanks for having me. No, and I know, and you've been following my journey from day one, and I feel like at some point you kind of were like, okay, this girl's legit.
Yes.
And I trust her, and we've had so many back and forths, and sometimes you and I even disagree on certain things, Botox and whatever.
Yeah.
But I think we're both really knowledgeable and are eager to learn always and just continue to educate ourselves, because the answers are not all from one place or one model. You have to just grab from so many different realms of knowledge and education. So I think we're both on the same page like that.
I agree. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing. Where are you from? And tell me a little about what your childhood was like. Bring us up to today.
Okay. So I'm from LA. I had an interesting upbringing. I had such a blessed and privileged one.
Okay.
But there were some financial hardships in my family's life. And so there was a lot of back and forths with schooling, and I was in private Jewish school, and then I was pulled out for certain reasons, obviously most of them being financial. And I went to public school, and it's public school's wonderful.
Yeah.
But when you're used to a very small educational environment, and then you are pulled out pretty dramatically, and obviously it wasn't that traumatic, and the point is it happened a few times, and so I think
it is traumatic. I think
it is okay, but there are a lot more traumatic things. I don't want to sound
No, when you're a small person, you have a huge lifestyle change.
Small person.
I get it.
Yeah. And so after that, I kind of became determined to graduate with some sort of profession that had financial stability. I didn't want to rely on anyone and I love my husband and I rely on him for so much, including whatever finances. But the point is I wanted to just be financially independent my whole life. And so I think that actually having a more difficult, hardly difficult childhood made me more driven, and passionate about work and having a career. And so becoming a PA was something I wanted to do at like 15. I knew I wanted to do this from day one, and I probably graduated.
Why? How? Was it due to that the financial stability, or was there always a sense of
I liked helping people.
Okay.
I'm not like the world's most like
Mother
helpful
Teresa?
person, but I enjoy it. I don't know what gravitated me towards it. I think it was initially the financial stability. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, but because I was like, I loved art. I loved to paint. Like I loved fashion, you know, but I wasn't going to make any money doing that. So I went into medicine. This was like a safe place, you know? So that's how I ended up in medicine.
Okay.
And I think you asked me how I grew up, but like that was a big part of who I am today, because I think I'm a little more resilient and a little more hardworking because I had those tough times that, you know, maybe nowadays like kids don't have as tough of times.
Yeah. Your work ethic is like bar none.
But too much.
You work so much.
Too much.
Do you
It's
like
my only
love
addiction.
it? Like, are you Kim K? Like you, did you
fucking
post the other day?
I love it.
Yeah. I feel like you genuinely love.
I love it. I love it. If
like
I
you would
did,
work all day if people would let you.
all day if people would let me.
Yeah.
All day if it didn't mean neglecting my family, all fucking day. I wouldn't stop. I love it so much. I love my patients. I love what I do. It's very fulfilling, and I'm someone who really can become depressed if I'm not productive.
Right.
And so at work I'm productive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been practicing now medicine in total?
10 years 10 years August, actually.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's a long time.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
God, you're so young.
Yeah.
It's a two-part question. At what age should we start thinking about aging?
Okay. Botox is usually the first thing. You're not going to like microneedle before you Botox, right? I don't know. It's just not like the common
I think
trajectory.
also because of the expense. Botox is a cheaper, faster thing, and at the age where you're ready.
And it's more instant gratification, instant results. And so when you're young, you need that. I would say Botox, there's no age. It's more when you make facial expressions and guys, I Botoxed my upper lip. I did a lip flip and I cannot say my P's properly. So please ignore my lack of P ability.
To be honest, it probably makes for softer audio that you can't say your P.
But it does feel a little embarrassing, but it's okay. When you make facial expressions and you start to see teeny tiny lines that have kind of embedded themselves, even if it's for 10 minutes, that's the time. Like it could be at 22, it could be at 32.
Right.
I wouldn't go past 30 generally. Right. That's when I started.
Yeah.
And that's really exactly when I started having like very fine lines at rest that like you could see through makeup, you know?
Yeah. That's a good way to approach it. I always think I'm like, because they're an age where it feels inappropriate to think about aging or beauty, or is it just? I mean, I guess everyone's.
But there's like genes involved, you know, like Middle Eastern people tend to have tighter skin for the most part when you're a little bit fairer. Yeah, so it's it really varies. It's not an age thing. I know they say at 27, like maybe collagen production starts to deplete, or you know, but it's not that. It's really like person to person. It could be at 20. I have 18-year-olds that come in. I have 17-and-a-half-year-olds that are like, can I come in? And I'm like, call me in 6 months and we'll do it. But they have really deep lines. They do.
I'm like so activated because this is good that we're sitting together.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I really approach beauty the way you do. Mm-hmm. And you have to, because you're a professional. You can't have the lackadaisical view I have about it. Like, the lines are beautiful, because your job is to help these women correct.
Right.
But
you take a preventative approach, maybe? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yes and no. Right. I have deep lines forming.
Right.
I'm starting to make peace with them. I have made peace with them.
Right.
But like 17 and a half seems, could you imagine, let's say it's your daughter. Like, are you going to let your daughter at 17 and a half?
So the moms are coming with them for like usually. And I don't want people to think that I'm actually overly conservative to the point where like I've lost patience to being too conservative.
Yeah, you are conservative.
I am. People have said like, it's not enough. I need you to overfreeze me. And I'm like, you know what? You're going to have a heavy brow. This is not going to be pretty, and I don't want my name on it.
Right.
And we've had those issues. First of all, you have to do a lot of education and explain. The more you do, sometimes the worse you look.
Yeah.
But with these 18-year-olds that I do agree to do, these girls have really deep, let's say horizontal frontalis muscle lines, and they're wearing makeup, and like it's not so smooth and pretty for a young girl. I don't think, we're not treating everywhere. It's just like, okay, let's microdose this line so that it, we kind of relax it and we train it to stop being overused.
Yeah.
It's not like we're giving girls lip filler at 18 years old. I mean, there are girls that do that.
Oh, well, hello.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's cooler.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tricky landscape. Okay.
It's so benign. It's so benign. It's so reversible. It's benign, not reversible, but it's like temporary. But go ahead.
It is very temporary.
Yeah.
We're going to get more into Botox. I have so many questions about it. I want to talk about supplements first.
Okay.
Because
supplements.
People are confused about where to start. There are so many. Right. People are confused about reputable brands. Like so many supplements tout bullshit. They're not real.
They're not all supplements are the same.
So I want to talk about that also.
Yeah.
Let's start with, and again, back to the age. Is there an age where we need to start thinking about supplements? Because I was not popping supplements like I am now, even 5 years ago.
Right.
So
day 0, we give vitamin D.
Right. Wait, when you're born.
Right, when you're born.
Wait, really?
They say, I can't remember. Is it, because I hardly nurse. I think it's the breastfeeding babies definitely need vitamin D. I think the formula has vitamin D in it. But like day 0, remember they give you that little, and that's like the only Western medicine that's like alternative or holistic. Like the fact that they push it, because I've never had a pediatrician tell me when my kid is sick, give him vitamin C. Never in my life. How does that make any sense? Right.
Yeah.
So even that shocks me. But day 0. Okay.
Whoa.
So, but that's a general answer to your really general question. Because it depends.
So I mean, it's like, really, I want to know, where do women begin? Where do we begin when you start to think about, like, I need supplements? I know I need supplements. I don't eat well-rounded meals. I try to, but I don't. And especially, I want to say for women, women have a much harder time getting our well-balanced meals because look at our lives.
Yeah, awful. We're like thriving off adrenals.
We're literally on adrenals. No, and I want to guess.
That's me all day.
Yeah. That we all have adrenal fatigue.
I've shrunk because all I do is like survive on adrenaline and work. Coffee. I know. It's really bad. No, it's awful because it will catch up with all of us eventually.
So I'm feeling the effects of that. So I just turned 40. Where should women begin? Are there a certain amount are there a couple of supplements that you think are like non-negotiable? Everyone listening, you need to be on these. What are they?
Okay. So backtrack for a second. Once upon a time, we might have not all needed these things that I'm about to say, but because we truly live in a toxic environment, I hate saying that, but it's true. It's like the environment, just the air is awful. Our food is just like, the nutrients is hardly existent. Like even organic produce is filled with pesticides.
Of course. How is it perfect? I always see in Whole Foods, it's like organic. I'm like, but this looks perfect. That cannot be organic. Right.
So the food, the environment, what am I missing? Oh, the fragrances, the hormone receptor, the hormone disruptors, whatever. The point is, so back in the day, maybe we were exposed to the sun more, right? So today, everyone is vitamin D deficient, unless you're a farmer.
Yeah.
Farming all day without sunscreen. You need vitamin D. I don't know any farmers. So everyone I know needs vitamin D.
Okay.
Specifically D3 with K2. We can go into why.
It's really, how many is it IUs? Yeah.
5,000 a day.
5,000 a day of vitamin D.
I've probably seen 1 out of 100 patients have a therapeutic vitamin D level. And therapeutic to me is a little different than therapeutic to like the the reference range of Western medicine.
Yeah,
describe but I'm talking
what a therapeutic
like 50s
level.
to like 50, 60.
But at what point does it take it to therapeutic levels? It's so above what the dosage is that you're getting an alternative effect, like vitamin D helping mood or anxiety or.
Okay, so low vitamin D equates to more chronic disease.
Okay.
So chronic disease is everything and anything. Autoimmune disease is chronic fatigue. Poor immune system, anything.
Yep.
So you want your D high for better everything.
Okay.
Or less of the bad things.
Okay.
And you want it with K2 because K2, basically vitamin D increases calcium, and calcium kind of sits in the blood, doesn't know where to go. K2 tells it basically to leave the artery, not become atherosclerotic, which is like plaque buildup, which causes heart disease, and instead puts it into the bone for better bone density, which women specifically really need, but we all, men and women, all need. And that's why it's important for children also, because they're building bone, like they're growing. They need it for their development. And
should I be giving Lila vitamin D like in a liquid form?
Yeah, I love vitamin D liquid. Mm-hmm.
And just you sneak it in?
No, it's delicious. My kids love it. You just like drop it on their tongue.
I'm good. We're gonna need a link
Tastes
for
like
that.
olive oil.
And I'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. My kids love it.
Okay, vitamin D. Also, someone told me that you literally can't absorb, like you need the K2 to absorb.
Better for like the gut absorbability. Yes, that sounds right. I don't know. I'm more focused on the
community
calcium.
member, and I don't know that they were a medical professional.
Okay.
But no.
I don't even want to pretend I know. But
but I think it actually is true. I think you need the K to absorb.
They're so like stuck on it being with K2. There must be multiple reasons for it.
There has to be. You always see them together. D3, K2.
Yeah.
All right. What else?
Magnesium. And by the way, D is really important for hormone like regulation. So mood, hormones, neurotransmitters, depression, it's like so important.
Wow.
Okay, moving on to magnesium. Most of us are deficient. I'm talking like probably 70% of us. Any patient who tells me that they don't sleep well, they're mag deficient.
Yep.
Muscle aches, like why do you have aches? It's weird.
I know.
Mag deficient.
Yeah, well, nobody stretches.
Nobody stretches.
Or works out or uses their core.
Right. So
that could also be
if you don't work out and if you're not active, why are you so sore?
Yes.
That's me, right? I sleep okay, but I'm always sore. The mag corrects that.
But you also do stand a lot.
I do stand a lot. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Like my posture could be better. Whatever. Fine. And then why mag for mood? Mag for mood. If you are an anxious person, and everybody's anxious all of a sudden.
I love
the last
magnesium.
3 years, everybody's anxious.
Yep.
Magnesium really chills the person out, and not in like an over chilled way.
No.
They can just handle more.
Yep.
Lower the threshold for anxiety.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I take both. I take magnesium.
You've always been on it. You've
always
My
bodywork guy was like, you need to take magnesium every night. He does therapeutic doses. He likes very high levels. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't even recommend that to anybody.
How high?
It works for me.
Like he takes really high doses?
He tells me to take like 3 or 4 times the recommended doses of things. Yeah.
Chronically? I would do like maybe like shock your body with it.
I taper myself on and off. Like I'm somebody who's really good at knowing my body. I wouldn't recommend this for everybody. Like I'll be like, I know when to push pull with like my stuff.
Yeah.
Not everybody does.
Yeah.
But yeah, like initially I overdosed. I flooded my body. I might have been very low, but I flooded my body with like magnesium and D and all that stuff.
Well, that's where like magnesium threonate comes in because that's the one. There's so many mags, and people always ask me which mag. Okay, so
I even asked you.
Mag glycinate, that's like the one best for like muscle soreness and mood and sleep. It's great. Citrate is more of like the GI stuff. We don't really want to get it. I mean, unless you're severely constipated, but whatever. The threonate is the one that has an affinity to the cerebral spinal fluid. Can't say my P's. Sorry. It's from the Botox. But it gets through to the blood-brain barrier quicker. And it's so hard to get anything into the blood-brain barrier, right? It protects, the whole point is to protect from the outside going in. Right. But we need magnesium to go in. So they've created threonate to get through quicker so that you have the cognitive improvements that you need from mag that you normally couldn't get from a regular mag. The point is it's like a loading dose almost. Yeah. So it's a very strong, absorbable, and efficient way to get mag into the areas that don't often get enough of it.
Got it.
And that's where like high dosing, maybe he told you to do that so it gets through to the right places.
Yeah.
Because you need to load to like push through to certain areas.
I need to check which ones I have, but now I definitely need to have magnesium threonate.
Threonate.
Okay. That's for the sleep and the anxiety.
Deeper sleep, cognitive. It's really about the cognitive stuff, neurodegenerative stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about, is that same for the achy bones?
It helps with the achy bones, but you can combine with like the classic regular mag for the bones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have magnesium, everyone needs. Vitamin D, everyone needs. D3K2.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Oof. It all depends on like, that's the thing. No, okay. Here's the thing with like holistic medicine or integrative medicine.
Are
No,
supplements considered holistic?
they're integrative.
Right.
They're integrative.
Yeah.
They're not Western.
That's true. It's not Western.
First of all, like no one's,
Your doctor would never tell you to take D3K2.
he would never tell me unless my D3 was really low.
Yeah.
And it's not even like monitored by any sort of like,
No.
it's not regulated.
You're right.
It's not regulated.
Wow. Okay.
Well, that's why you could be getting garbage off Amazon.
Well, so next thing. How do people know they're not buying junk garbage supplements? By the way, I used to buy supplements off Amazon. To be fair, I still do sometimes, but only if I really feel like I...
Right. It's a big problem. I don't trust it.
Okay.
I don't like it. I searched far and wide for the cleanest brand that I found and loved, and they do a lot of research within their own company.
Okay.
They test for heavy metals, which is huge, and they're also approved in Canada and Europe, and they have much higher quality, like stronger restrictions and control over these things. So I trust that.
Do you ship nationwide?
Sure. Yeah.
Like what happens?
Like we just started. We just started. You know, like I'm not. It's not a moneymaker. It's like truly passion. I just want people to feel better.
Yeah.
And I want to be associated with making people feel better.
Yeah.
You know, it's
That's
kind of
a good thing to be associated
right. So, we do nationwide. Yeah, we've like shipped to like random areas in California because I think that's who follows me. But
Okay.
why not?
So you'll ship in California, but not nationwide.
No, I will. I just
because people might want to order.
Yeah.
When they hear
yeah,
this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel nervous about like brands that I don't like. I have ordered stuff off Amazon.
No, you should be.
Actually, before even I started getting them from you, I was really just getting them from Amazon. Making sure your supplements are clean. Where do we?
Okay, so I trust Thorne.
Okay.
One of the co-founders or co-creators is Terry Wales. She's incredible. She is like all about autoimmune diseases and supplementation and so many other things, diet, whatever. So I trust her.
THORNE, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Orthomolecular, which is what we use.
Okay.
That we'll probably start private labeling soon.
Okay.
And then Pure, Pure.
Okay.
The others, I don't know. I don't know.
That's 3 good options.
3 good options. Yeah.
Okay, that's helpful.
And I like Thorne directly from their website. I don't trust Amazon.
Interesting.
Orthomolecular has told me that like there's a huge lawsuit. It's not really them, so I wouldn't do the Amazon thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't know if it's counterfeit. I don't know.
So people really, I could have been taking air pills.
Air. People tell me all the time, they're like, I take all my supplements and I'm sick all the time. So either something's really wrong with them or everything is BS. Yeah.
I don't want to know. I don't want to believe that.
But that's okay. You're on the right path now.
So when should women start taking all these things?
Okay. Mag and D3 is honestly like as soon as they're adult women, you know?
Like able to swallow a pill.
Yeah, able to swallow. Literally, I had a 13-year-old girl come in for an IV because of severe menstrual cramps and just nausea, pain, cramps, weakness. And we gave her an IV full of vitamins and her mom called me like, not literally crying, but like so happy because even at her age, she's obviously deficient in something, whether it's just like the 3 days in her cycle, some fluids and vitamins just brought her back to life. So yeah, as soon as you can swallow a pill, listen, it's like in your 40s, glutathione levels deplete. Do I believe in oral supplementation of glutathione? No. Poor absorption. Your body then doesn't know like how to make it on its own. I believe in like shocking the body once a month with a high dose glutathione IV push. Don't take it orally. But D3, MAG, and then like some people, they have MTHFR gene mutation.
That's right.
And it can be different variants of it, but they have a hard time methylating. So they need to be given folate because they have a hard time with folic acid and everything in the foods that we eat that are full of preservatives. It's just like all folic acid.
Yes.
So it makes their methylation process just slow down and you need to give them a lot of B vitamins. This is all like could go over your head. But the point is, it's really patient dependent and you have to hear their story.
Yeah.
And sometimes get labs, not often. I really go based on like my intuition and their symptoms.
Okay.
And so sometimes they'll need like a methylfolate or a methyl B complex.
Yeah.
A multivitamin is cute. You need a really good one.
I don't take one.
Yeah.
Is it cute?
You never bought Mitocore?
I have Mitocore.
So Mitocore is like a multivitamin, I like to say on crack or on steroids, because it also has amino acids.
Okay.
And it's just a really good multi.
Okay.
You still need to take mag and D3.
I'm taking both. I'm taking all.
But
I'm taking 13 pills a day.
Right.
Is that too many?
That's where we need to be. No, that's unfortunately, that's where we need to be.
4 of those horse pills are my hair vitamins, the
Great.
Nutrafol.
Great.
And I also come to you for my hair shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Because our oral absorption sucks.
Now,
our guts are inflamed. We don't absorb as much nutrients.
What are the benefits of glutathione? I get glutathione with you a lot, but I also train very hard.
I love glutathione.
Tell us some of the benefits of glutathione, and should I be doing it with IV? Because we're just doing a quick injection. Should I be doing
no. Okay. So, you had asked me how I got into this.
Yeah.
I think I kind of skipped over a big part of like the wellness.
Let's take it way back.
Take it back. Someone really near and dear to me was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and Western medicine wasn't cutting it. We need it, and we utilized it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't improving symptoms. It was helping with lab results.
Okay.
And MRI reports.
Okay.
But it wasn't improving quality of life. And so everything I knew was Western. Like all I had ever learned was like, you have a certain disease, you take this drug that Big Pharma has created.
Yeah.
That's very expensive.
Our friends at Pfizer.
Yep. And so I kind of like delved into this world of vitamins and everything, honestly, acupuncture, chiro, all these options. But IV vitamins are what I found improved inflammation more than any of the other realms and options.
So getting it like directly injected into you.
Directly injected.
Is that could be through IV or even just a little like a shot, right?
Yeah. So like an intramuscular shot is like 80% absorption. That's still pretty good.
Yeah.
IV is 100%.
Okay.
And so glutathione, you asked me why. Okay, right. So I had tried to correct a lot of these symptoms through IV, and it helped. And then like COVID hit, and then we were like, oh, COVID's inflammation. Let's give IV vitamins to people who are suffering from COVID symptoms. And we helped so many people that way, just from vitamins.
That's all my things that I want to talk to you about.
Really?
Because, you were for me, when I was watching what was happening in COVID, there were so few answers. And I felt like rather than you just like asking a million questions, which you were like, let's just try things with, like you were very fast to putting people on the IV drip and vitamin cocktail.
I got really lucky because I honestly don't remember how it all started, but it was a lot. It was a lot of COVID patients.
Yeah.
Well, we were COVID testing.
You were inundated.
Yeah. And so I learned so much from my patients. Like people ask me, how do you learn all these things? And I learn so much from my patients.
Yeah.
So much.
Feedback,
data. And people are smarter than me. They educate me on these things also.
Well, they know you didn't have what they're having.
Right.
Like they know, they're telling you.
Yeah.
So you're getting a broad picture of what was happening.
Yeah. And glutathione was the healer. Like, okay, IV vitamin C, sure, great. Vitamin D shots we gave everyone with COVID. It almost acts like an anti-inflammatory. It's like, I almost equate it to like an Advil. Like, not really.
Yeah.
But sort of.
I could see that.
Yeah. And so glutathione, okay, so in your 40s, levels start to deplete. And glutathione is the master antioxidant. This is like the mother of all antioxidants. This gets rid of toxins, clears the liver, free radicals be gone. Like,
where does glutathione found in nature?
Found in nature.
Like, I always wonder, like, if we put it in an injection, it must be found in nature, but something that we may not have access to, or you can't eat in copious amounts, right? Like sometimes it comes in nature, but wouldn't be healthy to ingest that much.
Is it an elderberry?
You know what? Okay, we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out
because I was just wondering. I'm like, it seems like it's the mother of all.
Well, it's a molecule that you naturally have glutathione levels within you. Like it's not like a vitamin.
Got it.
Let's look into it.
Yeah.
I should know the answer to this.
Not really. Not everybody knows where the origin, but it could also just be better in the form that we're giving it.
No,
to
but
people.
if we're having it compounded, it's coming from something and somewhere.
Coming from something. That's what I'm thinking.
It's coming from somewhere. Let's look into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I almost want to look it up.
Should we look? No. Well, it's going to take a second.
Yeah.
So we have glutathione levels.
Okay.
Depletes as we age. low glutathione, high chronic disease, like same as vitamin D.
Okay.
And so when you have low glutathione, you have high inflammation.
Okay.
Your cells are inflamed. Your cells are tired. You're tired. So with COVID, the data showed that glutathione levels were depleted even more. And so long COVID and all these other issues could have been from glutathione depletion.
I wanted to talk to you about long COVID. Do you believe it's real?
I have to tell you, I'm really torn.
Because I feel like it's bullshit.
I also always felt that way. And I can't
or
say
just like
no, because I've had people who've really come to me.
that change.
Something
Let me ask you a
changed.
question. Long COVIDers, were they very, very different in their energy levels before COVID?
They claim.
But anyone you know personally?
Mm-hmm. 2 people.
No, anyone you know
that
personally
I
who you
knew?
saw their energy levels change.
First of all, one is beyond energy levels. It's like POTS syndrome and all these other weird autonomic dysfunctions that happened after COVID.
Yeah.
Another one, I just trust her character, and I don't
then
think.
I trust character.
Yeah, I just think it's bizarre.
Yeah.
But you know what? This virus was man-made. Who the hell knows
It's
what
true.
they developed and what person unfortunately got a very strange, strain and bad circumstances. Who knows
Yeah.
what was going on with them at
Yeah.
the time?
Or perhaps there was something underlying that they weren't aware of.
Correct. But initially there were a lot of eye rolls on my part
Got
with
it.
the long COVID.
This is why you're in the medical field and an empathetic healthcare provider,
Yeah.
and I am not.
Right.
Because I'd
right.
be like, long COVID, get out of here.
I know. I know. But I've been there. Where I'm like,
Yeah.
it's is this real?
Is there anything, what are some of the biggest takeaways that you know now, coming out of COVID, and you were really, all the healthcare workers really had front row seats, and then in particular, you implemented a lot of procedure, protocols. So anything you know now that
I used to get sick all the time.
Okay.
All the time I'd get bronchitis twice a year like clockwork. It stopped during COVID. And I'll tell you why I think that is. One, I exposed myself to a lot of sick people. So I think my immune system got stronger.
Okay.
And a lot of sick people. And the other thing is I take vitamin C and D when I feel like something's wrong. I don't take it I take D every day. I'm a little non-compliant.
Right.
I should be. I don't take C every day.
Okay.
But if I feel if anyone around me is sick or I feel like it's coming on, I take it and I don't get sick.
C and D.
C and D. And I don't take zinc, but I tell my patients to take zinc.
So that's something you found out from...
Yes. And exposure.
We weren't doing it in that way. Now you think people are much more aware of taking C or D.
Yes.
We learned, yeah.
Nobody knew about C and D.
You're right.
It's really funny.
You're right.
Yeah, we didn't we all knew, but we didn't know D was the immune regulator.
I didn't take D seriously.
Nobody took D seriously. The vitamin D angels came down.
In
COVID
COVID
actually was a blessing in disguise for a lot of people.
Oh.
It woke me up.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
What else do we know more other than vitamins? What?
Well, I was saying, I think not being overly sterile.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people who didn't leave their homes and always hand sanitized and God forbid this or God forbid that. And they're the people that came out, I think, with weaker immune systems and weaker,
yeah.
They're just a little bit weaker.
Right.
So I think you need to just be a little bit more, just expose yourself. My baby's Passy fell on the ground at a party and I put it back in his mouth and this mom was like, no, what are you doing? She's a little older than me. Okay. She was probably 15 to 20 years older than me. And I'm like, no, this is good.
Yeah.
This is good. It's
This
okay.
is how us young people be doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I just think,
I
I want
agree.
my child to have a strong immune system. Yes, he probably did get sick after that, by the way. It was a few days later he got sick. But the point is, later in life, he'll have a stronger immune system and he'll need it then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take it back to beauty.
Yes. This is where I'll start. I mean, it's funny. I didn't really start in beauty, but this is the core of Beverlywood Med. So I love it.
Yeah. Your bread and butter, a lot of it is you're well, let's just call it what it is. You're a Botox queen.
Botox queen, yeah.
You do a shit ton of Botox.
Shit ton of Botox.
Less filler, right?
Much less filler.
What's the number one thing that's asked for? Right, well, wrinkles.
Brow lift.
Brow lift.
Brow lift. I love a brow lift.
I'm bitter about brow lifts
Yeah.
because I cannot do them.
Yeah.
Tell the women what a Botox brow lift is like.
Okay, so it's funny. I used to hear brow lift, and I used to picture Wait, I can't do it. I'm so like
Yeah.
moist from my
Halavai
touch
does
and
that.
no, well, I used to picture like a Spock brow, and I'd be like, oh, like why would anyone want a brow lift? Or like a crazy, I don't want to say the name of the influencer injector actually right now because that would be so mean. But there is someone who got an actual surgical brow lift where she looks like a crazy lady.
Yeah.
That's what I always pictured. It's funny. And then I obviously learned more. And so brow lift in our world means bringing them back to where they were. Okay.
Right.
Because
Right.
they fall.
In the aesthetics world, often when people say, when they think lift, they think abnormal.
Abnormal.
But in beauty, lifting means returning to
where
to a youthful appearance.
Exactly. So it's twofold. Okay. There is the glabella area, the 11s. Okay. And so
I
as
have
we
them
age,
deep.
you have them, one worse than the other. As we age, I'm sorry, I can't really do much, but they kind of fall in and down, and so your brows fall
Maybe
with
I
them.
should show them because I can do it.
Yeah, and so those get stronger with
squeamish right
age,
now.
so your eyebrows start to fall.
Yeah.
And so when we Botox this area, it lifts and pulls, and so you look more refreshed, more youthful, more well slept, more happy. And by the way, I heard that this was a treatment for depression. The
Yeah.
glabella, because
I do look mean because of my brows. Unfortunately, because they're lower set. I do have a deep 11. I am a furrower in general. I'm a furrower.
Yeah.
I'm not a candidate because I have a pretty significant dip in my forehead, which creates an interesting anatomy.
Right.
A lot of people don't realize
By the way,
that.
people get it after and they're like, what'd you do? I'm like, girl, that's your skull.
Correct.
You
My
know?
skull does a deep dip,
Yeah.
which makes for a heavy brow pad.
Okay.
We're organically low set, but because of my very small forehead, if I do anything to my brows, they don't lift. They
don't lift.
fall.
They fall. Oh.
I've tried so many. We've
Yeah.
even tried it. I think it's for my face.
Yeah.
It's no bueno.
Right.
Not everybody's
Right.
a candidate for all the things.
Correct.
I think there are probably most people are, but
Yeah.
but like, so a candidate for someone who might benefit from that is someone with like a deep 11 or like low heavy or like an
By the way,
angry
they
bird.
don't even have to have an 11. They
Okay.
can still have no wrinkle. And it's funny, people come in and they're like, okay, and I tell them I want to do your glabella. And they're like, but I have no wrinkles. I'm like, but I'm still going to lift your brows. So it still moves the brows. You don't need to have a wrinkle.
Right.
And this is like my mantra. It's like, I don't treat your wrinkle, I treat your face.
Got it.
I want your face to look fresh. I want you to look young and happy and just well slept. I treat so many young moms and they're exhausted.
Yeah.
And I want them to feel beautiful and
Yeah.
fresh and awakened. So
Yeah.
there's that. It's not always the wrinkle. But the brow lift, by the way, also is, and this is my favorite, the tail end of the
tail.
brow, and just to kind of
Yeah.
lift the corners, lift this up. And that gives you a more awakened, like just fresh look.
The tail's really nice.
The tail's really nice.
What happens to the other, like, let's say, for the purposes of this argument, that Mother Nature makes no mistakes and every muscle in our face is needed to do certain things.
Mm-hmm.
If you freeze some muscles, does that not create other muscles to become overactive or overcompensate?
Yeah. So, like with the crows, which are these,
Okay.
I'm very cautious because if you don't understand anatomy and you overfreeze someone's crows, their under eye will get really crepey because it's like making up for that loss of muscle, so it's starting to contract stronger. And then people also start to focus on this area of creping and like, this is so smooth and it's not consistent.
Right.
So I have so many patients that come in, they're like, I hate my crow's feet, I look so old, I want my crow's feet gone. And I'm like, I'm not going to get rid of it. You'll look scary. Let's gradually like improve as we go down, but instead mostly focus on the top, freeze this muscle, this part of the one muscle, and then just do little sprinkles down here so that it looks natural when you smile.
Right.
So yes, for sure. You can never go wrong with over freezing your 11s. I mean, in your case, weird anatomy, but usually just like 20 bam bam, you look so fresh.
Mm-hmm. Really? 20 in each one? 40?
20 in the glabella.
Okay, no, 20 complete, like not 20 per that
20
area.
in this area.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite area to treat?
The glabella.
Oh, it is,
My
because it's the
favorite.
instant fix.
Instant fix just always look wonderful. There's
Yeah.
never this like, is it asymmetric?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
This muscle is my least favorite.
The forehead.
The forehead, the frontalis, yeah. Because you're, 15% of patients, when they raise their eyebrows after, have a little, I mean, even I do. I don't know. Do I still? Because I'm on day 5 of my Botox.
You're always injected up the yin-yang.
Hardly. Last time was April. This is like, a long time.
Ooh, that is good. Okay.
Pesach, yeah.
Good.
So is one eyebrow going up more?
Well, don't we all have a little asymmetry?
Okay, so I'm just saying, like, I'm a perfectionist, and so
Right.
that's the one that, like, sometimes people have to come back and do a correction. It's not a big deal. You add a drop in it.
Is it that? Is it your right one?
My right, yeah.
Okay, but at mine, I have a much higher one.
Okay, whatever.
What do most women come in telling you? Like, I feel X when they're
I'm falling.
I'm falling.
I feel like I'm falling. I feel like everything's falling.
Okay.
I feel like I look so tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that people are actually falling, or do you think as a society, like, we're seeing so many more frozen faces that people feel like they're falling?
No, I think I'm seeing a lot of young moms, and I think their eyebrows are falling. Like the tails, it's heavy and it's a lot. It's a lot. And pregnancy is a lot.
Yeah.
It really, like, kids age you. It's such a blessing. I have 3.
It's not even just kids. I'm going to make a radical statement right now. You tell me if you agree. I've been feeling like women are looking much older, much earlier.
We're wearing so many hats.
Yeah.
It's too much.
It's too much.
It's not natural.
No.
It's not natural.
I thought you were going to, when you were going with wearing, I thought you were going to say, like, hormone disruptor.
No. It's too much. It's too much.
Right.
We're all really
I'm just noticing that women are, back in the day, we look back at pictures.
We were fuller also. Women were fuller.
Yes.
So they looked better.
Right.
Fuller in the face, more youth.
Fat in the face is so youthful and so good.
I think women are skinnier, so they're more, like, everything kind of looks like it's falling more.
I would agree with that statement.
Yeah.
I guess, do you ever, it doesn't seem like you do. Do you ever feel like a tug at your heart? Like, is it my duty and responsibility to help women feel their best, like, regardless of, like, what a society or what pharma is pushing? Or is this like, this is a tool in my tool? I'm a healthcare provider. This is a tool in my toolbox.
Yeah, it's a great tool.
Yeah.
I literally never feel guilty. But I think that's where wellness comes in, because when my patient is sitting in the chair and she's complaining about her life, I don't want to only fix her aesthetic. Yeah. I'm like, why are you so sad? Or what is wrong? What are you feeling? Let's correct this internally on a cellular level also. And that's, I don't know, like, 10% of my patients, I'm sitting there like, they're therapists, and I want to be. Yeah. And it's like, it's not necessarily like a therapist, but more of like a coach. Yeah. Where, like, no one has the resources to help themselves. Like, you really need to self-educate, because your doctor does not give a crap that you feel like ass. This is motherhood. You're tired. This is it. You feel drained all the time? Stop having kids. That's not the answer. Right. Or stop working so much. No, I work all day long. I have tons of energy.
You do.
I have tons of energy. But that's like, work is my, like, endorphin / serotonin. Yeah. When I don't work, I am depressed. It's very simple.
But you know how, and like, coming back to this whole thing, like, if a woman comes to you about Botox and you're going to generally take a more well-rounded approach, what happened in the aesthetic space that literally Botox became, like, when women think, I don't like X, it will be Botox. Botox has become, was it the bajillions of dollars that
Marketing dollars?
Marketing? Because everyone's like, I don't like how I look, Botox. There's so many other things. Like, you even...
Like what? What's the quick fix that's semi-affordable? Not microneedling.
There's no quick
that takes
fix
time, that takes money. A peel, sure.
You're right. There's no quick fix that's semi-affordable. There's no quick fix.
We are like the Amazon generation.
Yeah.
This is like the most wonderful gift that Western medicine has provided to women and men, but mostly women. Is it fair that men age like fine wine and we don't? Is that fair? We deserve Botox. It's unfair. We fall, they climb. Like, we are, it's so inconsistent. Like, not fair. We deserve Botox.
We age quicker.
We age quicker. And by the way, men age. But why does Kevin Costner look so hot in his almost 80s? Is that normal?
No.
No. No woman looks like hot in her 80s or 70s.
What? But you do like a little microneedling because you carry some. Yeah.
Oh, microneedling is like, I think, the future of anti-aging.
Yeah.
Biohacking. I mean, this is like such a, what's a called word?
Taboo? No.
No, what's like the buzzword?
Oh, yeah.
Biohacking, like hacking your biology to, reverse aging.
You do some sort of microneedling now. You do,
Skin pen.
That's right.
It's the only, or like there are like 2 FDA cleared pens. We use Skin Pen.
Okay, good.
Love it, by Crown Aesthetics. I think they just bought Revance, Revance, whatever.
Probably say it either way.
I think is that Daxi?
Yes.
I don't even know. Yeah,
Daxi was.
So they're Crown is huge.
Yeah, huge.
They bought a huge company.
Interesting. So
I love microneedling. It's natural collagen production. This is what like my hippies do. I have people who will not touch a toxin.
Yep.
They are like breastfeeding till their babies are 5 and they're like, I need to age better. So they'll microneedle.
Yeah.
It's, you need to be patient. You need to have some money saved up. It's not that crazy. The truth is my prices are low. It's not bad.
A typical microneedling treatment is what, like between $1,000 and $1,200?
Yeah, not with me.
How much are yours?
Without PRP is I think $425 per session.
Really good.
I know, but it's a lot when you add it on to Botox.
I know.
For people, young people living in LA, it's hard to survive here.
Very.
So this is like a real luxury.
Yeah, it is.
And then with PRP is like $5.99 or something, and then you get like a percentage off on the
So
package.
that's why you're saying like Botox. One of the reasons Botox has become popular, even without the money thrown at it, is that it really is relatively affordable. You're talking what, $12 to $14 a unit. Where are we at now with Botox?
Me, $13.50.
$13, whatever. So we're between like $13 to $15 a unit
it's
across
not
wherever
bad.
you go. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
If you're talking about 20 units for someone to have like an instantly fresher face.
Yeah.
It's
like a
actually
no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. I mean, that's why you see so many injectors like, join this.
Popping up.
Yeah.
How do you feel like generally that injectors are in the space? Have you felt like the women are like supportive? Do you guys all have each other's back? Like what is the injector space like?
Yeah, no, I think it's a really beautiful community.
Okay.
I think people are really supportive of each other. I've never had a bad experience. I go to, like the Allergan events, like the trainings.
Yep.
Everyone's so nice.
Yeah.
And there are very different types of injectors, how they look, how they inject, Some injectors love cheek filler.
Yeah.
They love it. They love it. They love it. They love it.
Why did you never get into filler so much? You do.
So much,
I know you do. You don't lead with that.
I don't lead with that. I lead with save up for a facelift. I'm like, I don't need your money.
Right.
Go get a facelift.
Facelift.
It never seemed right to me. For years, I always felt like it was the wrong approach to beauty.
Okay.
It's an unnatural approach. Now, when you have volume loss from aging or whatever it is, smokers, they get like aged lips.
Yes.
Women who lose weight, they lose volume in their face. To correct volume, I think, is wonderful. It's the overcorrection that now has taken you from like a natural human to like this alien-like person. And I don't want to be associated with that.
You don't put your name on that.
I don't want to put my name on that.
The Real Housewives of any city are a great example of overusage of filler.
LA? I mean, Beverly Hills? I
don't
don't know
know
why I
the
just said
new-
LA. I was on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Me too.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
I don't know the current cast, so I actually can't. I don't know the current cast, but
Maybe I'm
Lisa
a little-
Lisa Rinna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But by the way, you know what that is?
What?
I'm pretty sure that's not filler.
Oh,
That's
lip?
that's silicone.
Oh, you might be right.
Yeah.
Because she was a model back.
Yeah,
there-
that was
yeah,
like
yeah.
a 80s. People
You're
were
right.
doing like silicone in the 80s.
You're
Awful.
right.
They can't get it out. It's
Right.
terrible. I'm sure she would.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think
But okay,
otherwise-
maybe let's say not.
But let me tell you something. Dorit's before and after, I'm really sorry. She looks amazing.
Dorit looks really
She
good.
looks amazing. And there's a lot of filler and she looks incredible.
Some people do the the liquid facelifts.
Yeah.
They do like a
Yeah.
full face correction with
Yeah.
filler.
Yeah.
It would be that's my worst nightmare.
Right.
Do you think like filler falls? Like I feel like
Yeah.
it does,
Awful.
but Botox does not.
Okay. I know where you're headed. I know where you're going.
No, I wasn't. That actually just popped into my head now.
So
Filler makes sense
Can
because it's
you-
like external, whereas Botox you're putting in the muscle, so you wouldn't necessarily think they would
no.
perform
The actual product is absorbed very quickly and is out of your system.
But filler does fall. You see
Filler
it fall.
falls. Filler falls. Filler moves up even.
It moves.
It moves up. Like Juvederm, they call Moviderm. I mean,
Ooh.
my Allergan rep wouldn't like to hear this, but if you don't, and by the way, it's not the filler's fault. A lot of it is the injector's fault. They're
Yeah.
putting it in the wrong plane,
Mhm.
and that plane is exposed to another plane, and then it moves up with time.
Yep.
So it's also injector error.
Okay.
I do think filler falls. I don't think by 2 years it's all out of your system. I mean, plastic surgeons will say,
They'll
still
say,
can't talk. We'll say this all the time. Like they'll lift the fat or whatever, the skin layers, and they'll see filler from
course.
years ago.
Yeah.
But what was I saying? Botox. I think, listen, the only area that you could really overdo the Botox and cause permanent issues, aesthetic results, is when you overtreat the frontalis muscle. Because if you atrophy this muscle from too much Botox
The top, very
underuse,
top. Okay.
the horizontal lines.
Just for listeners, not watchers.
Right. Right. Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, yes.
It's okay.
I forget.
People will have to watch now.
Right. Okay. So the top part of the forehead that has the horizontal lines, that muscle is called the frontalis muscle. If you over Botox it could permanently relax that muscle where you permanently get heavy brows. Right. Right. You think that's what happened?
Yeah. I think that's what
Really?
happened. I think
Did you do 20 units in your frontalis muscle?
when I first started doing Botox, I have an extremely small forehead.
You were
There's not a
probably
lot of
doing
anatomy.
on-label dosing.
I was going to like young injectors. Remember when Botox first came out, it was so lawless.
Yeah.
Everyone was wielding a needle.
Right.
I have a very already interesting bony protrusion.
Right.
And I think I probably just did too, people were like, we'll freeze you.
Yeah, I don't like a freeze.
And I went to just amateurs and I think
Yeah.
it atrophied and everything
much.
set lower. Because if I look
Wow.
at pictures of myself even from 5 years ago, there's such a drastic lowering and I just don't think that was age.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. I mean, I always thought that it would happen like later and like to older women.
I started
no
at
offense.
30. So
Right.
we're talking 10 years
Right.
ago.
So I'll tell you, and I mentioned this earlier, I have literally lost patients to being too conservative
Yeah.
in that muscle specifically.
Yeah.
And they're like, your Botox doesn't last. And I'm like, no, it's because I did baby Botox up there because I want your brows to look great. Like, I don't want you to have a heavy brow.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that if they do those 20 units up there, not the 20 units I was talking about earlier in the glabella,
Right.
eventually they won't look good
Yeah.
because it will be heavy. Now, atrophying your glabella is a great thing
Right.
because it's like chronic lift.
Freezing
When
it
you
into
get there are plastic surgeons who, and I don't understand this at all, but whether they permanently cut the nerve that innervates the muscles that contract your 11s,
Oh my God.
they'll get rid of it permanently in surgery.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Is it not a developmental issue for small children to have an entire generation of mothers who don't emote? Is emoting not a fundamental...
Oh my God.
Is emoting not a fundamental part of like newborns can't speak? They only look at our expression. If you have so many frozen mothers, does that not disrupt?
No, you have your smile.
Okay.
You have your smile. That's all that matters. Eye contact and smile.
Okay.
I think it's fine. I have a very funny patient. She's a French Moroccan woman.
Oh, I think I've seen her.
Yeah. What? What do you mean
No,
you've seen her?
on social media?
No, she's like an
Oh.
older woman. Like, no,
Don't
okay,
you
no,
have her
I-
on your social?
No,
Oh, someone else.
And I don't want to age her. I just called her old. But she's, I don't mean to, I'm not going to say her age, but she has 20-something-year-olds. So she's
Okay.
not old.
Right.
But she's like, she's so cute because she goes, make sure you do not fully freeze my 11s because I want my children to know when I'm very mad at them. Like, she's like, she wants like expressions so that they're aware of her, emotions.
Yeah.
But no, I think for babies, it really does not matter.
I really used to wonder,
children.
worry about that.
No, I mean, you should worry about the masks. You should worry about the masks. Oh my God, we did COVID testing in schools, and the teachers were in masks reading. They were reading to the students.
I don't even know how you'd hear that.
Well, I don't know how you learn to speak when the
You
teachers.
can't and see enunciation.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's a whole nother like Pandora's box. Let's not open it.
So no, we're not
Let's
going
not
to
open
We're
it.
not that Pandora's box.
Yeah.
We're not going to open.
Yeah.
Okay, so one anti-aging principle or thing you believe in most over everything?
Stay out of the sun. Face out of the sun.
Okay.
I don't
Body
even
of-
wear sunscreen. I mean, by the way, I don't stay out of the sun. I'm just like recommending you stay out of the sun. I want to look great and tan.
Me too.
But
How bad do
the
you think
neck,
the sun
the neck,
really is?
the neck.
Oh.
Don't underestimate the neck. People's necks are not consistent with their faces these days.
Say more on that.
They haven't protected their necks. The women, I would say the 50-year-olds, let's say mid 40s, no, let's say 50 to 60-year-olds, let's just say them. A lot of them were protecting their skin
Yeah.
on their face.
Yep.
But they weren't sunscreening their neck or keeping their neck out of the sun, and their necks look much older than their faces.
So keep your face and neck out of the sun.
Yeah. Again, I don't do this, but yeah.
I don't either.
Mm-hmm.
I tan.
Yeah. I only like vacay once or twice a year. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, that 1 week I'm out and I want to look like a, different race.
What if you have more melanin in your skin? What if you're somebody who's darker tone? Do you think that the tanning is the same problematic as someone who's like
I've seen some very raisiny, wrinkled, like North African, Middle Easterns. Yeah. I mean, it's not as bad, but it can get really bad.
and it's sun? You don't think
It's not as bad though,
right?
but it can get bad.
Right.
And it's sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. My friends who tan, like they love tanning. You see it. It's starting.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Dang, I
You know what glutathione does?
What?
This is why the Japanese are obsessed with it, by the way.
It makes
It keeps
you
the
lighter.
skin light. It keeps the skin light because
I
it
better stop
protects from the
taking-
UV. It's like a UV protectant. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I think it protects from like UV damage.
Okay.
Yeah, and so they're obsessed with glutathione for that reason. We should look into that. It makes you like glow.
I used to inject myself with melanin.
Is that legal?
I don't think so.
Did you get that from out of?
I got it from Canada.
Yeah, yeah. That's a
But it did
black
make me
market
tan.
thing.
I used to do everything under the sun.
Yeah.
What's the craziest thing you ever did for beauty?
Oh, I'm not like that. I don't do anything.
Oh my
What have I
gosh.
done? Nothing. I'm so boring.
Okay.
Okay, I'm so boring.
What do you predict are the coming, like the beauty trends? Like we saw last year, one of the biggest, like I think Allergan reported, one of the biggest surgical trends was people taking out their breast implants.
Huge. I would never put an implant in ever. Ever.
Me either.
Ever.
Say more on that.
Oh my God. It's a foreign body in your body. It's not meant to be there.
Well, most of them encapsulate because the body wants to reject it so badly. I think
Exactly.
a startling number, I want to say it's 75%.
I believe
It's
it.
a huge number.
But is that within the 10 years that it's in there? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's early. Does it happen? Like, when does it happen?
It could happen at any time.
Yeah.
My friend, that's what she does for a living all day long. She works a machine that works.
I think I know your friend. Oh my God. That's great.
She breaks up.
She
the
probably sees
capsular
it so much.
She sees it nonstop.
Oh my God.
So she's traumatized from that. She told
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I can't put a foreign
Yeah.
thing. Okay, so but that was like a huge trend.
Huge.
And
trend.
now we're seeing, small boobies are in. But what do you think is coming like in the facial space or the aesthetic space that you think is, or that you're seeing already a migration away from something into something?
Away from filler towards natural collagen production via micro traumas or like the Morpheuses. I mean,
Yeah.
Morpheus I think
So
is on its way
microneedling.
out.
Agree.
I think microneedling is huge. And
Okay.
people have been doing this since in the 50s they were doing this. They were like stamping their face with
The
needles.
Europeans were always.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's growing a lot. Yeah, I think SkinPen's doing a really good job of marketing.
Yeah.
I think we're hearing a lot of like bad stories about microneedling from random microneedling pens that injectors are getting from Amazon. So, and that's causing scarring.
This is actually a great question to end on. I get this all the time. People want to know how they could find a good provider. Like, you have everybody in LA. What do we do in New York? What do we do in Pittsburgh? What do we do in Philly? What's a good way that
Personal referral.
Okay.
I don't trust Instagram.
No.
I don't trust like the famous influencer injectors. I don't trust ads or Google. I mean, maybe like Google reviews,
Okay.
but even then, like anything's correctable. Like
I
you can
know.
like
A personal friend, like a friend that you
personal
trust.
referral. I'm all personal referral.
Yeah.
Like I randomly, someone would be like, I saw you on Chaya's Instagram.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's a personal
That's a
referral.
good-
That's a personal
I mean,
referral.
it's
Right.
but yeah,
Right.
they saw you through someone that they trust aesthetically.
Yeah.
That's like an important factor. Like you're not going to take advice from your friend who looks like absolute crap.
Yeah.
You're going to take
Yeah.
advice from your friend who's looking pretty good.
Right. Yeah.
Who's taking care of herself
Yeah.
and looks good.
And it's funny because there are a lot of injectors that I think look over injected and they do a great job.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I don't know if it's that they're like letting people practice on them so they just have a lot of work done or what it is, but they still do a great job.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
so you
true.
can't really judge a book by its cover either.
No, you're right.
A little bit you can, you know,
Right.
a little bit if they're over injected, just beware
Right.
and put your foot down.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't put their foot down and they're like, whatever you think, whatever, I trust you. Don't blindly trust anyone with your face. No.
Never.
Be a psycho.
100%.
I mean, I don't really like my psycho people. I like when they blindly trust me, but
But that's because you're very like because
like-
of your approach, people
right,
trust you.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
I do appreciate that. It's like,
And you have a you're very chill about it all.
yeah, and like I'm not a salesperson.
No.
Yeah.
I think that's what people love you.
Yeah.
That's why I love you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you so much for doing
Thanks
this
for having me.
today.
This was really
This
nice.
was really fun, really informative. I hope people learned a lot about
I hope
supplements.
so too. I hope they like look into it and really just find a way to feel better and like just energized. You know, women deserve to feel energized. Men too. We love you. But women, I just find like aren't their wellest selves, and they can be. There's so many ways and they just need to like do a little more digging and research.
Yeah. I love that.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Daphna.
Pleasure. Thanks.